back again. Here we are, the Main Street Randy Land YouTube channel. Life is good when you get to tune in for another fun-filled episode of Randy's Collection here on the Main Street Randy Land YouTube channel. Isn't that wonderful? I knew you'd enjoy it. Well, you know, I was sitting here minding my own business, and I still had some quarters, and I was gonna play Captain Fantastic over here, but you know what? The cameraman had other ideas. He wanted to show something else. Well, we'll do Captain Fantastic another time. So I got to get up from my chair and walk over here. What can we show? How about Bimbo, the original Bimbo 3-ring circus? I'm telling you, well, look, how could you pass by this sweet, innocent Bimbo with such a smile and such a cute face? You know, he's just calling you. He's calling you to play. So it's a little low because it's made for kiddies, and I'm a kiddie, so I have to put 2 quarters in Bimbo. Ooh, that first was a loud click. What was that so loud for? Second click. Oh. Now, after the song's over, it hits a foil on the tape, and it stops Bimbo from running. But Bimbo gets played so much here that the foil tapes are often worn off. So I have it on a secondary backup, which will turn it off by time. So oftentimes the music is not right at the right time. So we should be going into another song. Meanwhile, I get to sing and dance with Bimbo. Loo, skip to my loo, skip to my loo, skip to my loo, my darling. Flies in the buttermilk shoe, fly shoe, flies in the buttermilk shoe, fly shoe. Everyone loves you and me. Skip to my loo, my darling. Yeah, oh, see, now he stopped because we were starting a new song, so I got to give him more money. Pony rocked a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Yankee Doodle did it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. On the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Yankee Doodle do it right, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the music and the step, and with the girls be handy. Wasn't that fun? Everybody loves to play with Bimbo. Oh. I think Lou Skip to my Lou would be next. I don't know. Well, let's see what's going on inside. All right. Well, gee, we can't see much. It's dark in there. All right. Well, dedication. I have to pull it out so I can show you from the back. It wants to take everything with it. Come on. Ugh. Well, now you see what I got to go through here? Now the plug pulled out. On top of everything else. With all the effort of pulling this out, at least it was worthwhile. Look. Ha ha ha. 2 quarters and another bouncy ball. Life is good at the Retro Arcade and Fascinating. 2 quarters and a bouncy ball. The magic key. That's funny. You talk about manufacturers. They always like to put their stamp on it somewhere. Well, I hardly think that this was made by the Wildwood Clam Company. I don't think so. So, pull off the back door. Now, the back door, the art, unfortunately, has seen moisture in its day. So it's not the best example of artwork here. See how it's rippled on its side here? But it's presentable in the back inside the machine. It's okay. And fortunately, I have another one. Another artwork, another Bimbo. Do I have another Bimbo? Let me think about that. Yeah, I've definitely got one more Bimbo. No, that's two more Bimbos. No, wait a minute. There's three more. No, there's four. I have at least four more somewhere. I know they're there. I know there's one up on top of the shelf over at Randyland, up on a high over by the Fascination Control booth from Keensburg. And I know there's one upstairs. I know there's one in a truck that I moved out of the last place I was trying to open that never opened because they couldn't give me the permits to open them, just like every other place that I try to open. And so there are at least five. And the one upstairs is not a Bimbo. It's a Pepe. Pepe the Clown. I always call him Pepe. Pepe the Clown, made by Williams. And later, they started remaking them by Urban Industries, United Billiards, and they became Bimbo. But it's really a Pepe the Clown, Pepe. It's the same thing, the same mechanism, the same thing. They changed the tape because it doesn't say, I'm Pepe the Clown, I'm Bimbo the Clown. Now, what makes him sing and dance? Well, up on the top, you have coils, 4 coils, which energize, and if you can see below with the strings, these push rods go up into those coils. They move a great distance. See how far that stroke is? It's quite a distance to lift that leg. And they all move very freely and very nicely to go up in there. So when you press those buttons, you're really just energizing those coils up on top. Now those are very special coils. They're not like your typical coil in a solenoid. Look how big and tall they are. And you'll notice that there's more windings on the top than there are on the bottom. It's like a cone. And that's for a certain reason, because these can be held on so they will not burn out easily. There's a lot of resistance on them. So when it pulls that in there, okay, it can hold it up nicely, and they're pretty strong without having a double winding coil. Isn't that nice? Those coils are very special. There was a model that was made that didn't use those kind of coils. They used those T-bar solenoids like you find in the skee ball release, whatever, and they were really loud. Click, 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 and they didn't last, and they were awful. So they got wise, and they did it properly with this. But as we go down a little further, up here, what makes him the head turn? See the motor here, your famous multi-products motor. He just turns, and he's got little bouncers there. You see the bouncers that are making him go up and down, moving his head left and right. Isn't that nice? And over here on the top, this little bouncer part makes the mouth go up and down. Bounce, bounce, bounce with a little feeler in the hole here on the top. And that just goes round and round and around. Well, I found a new home for my bouncy ball because it's going to get thrown inside Bimbo with all the other good stuff. So what do we got down here? Ah, look at that. Now, do you remember that big loud clicking sound when I put my quarter in? Click, click. What was that horrible sound? It was a score reel. This score reel obviously is not original. It's from an old Williams, it looks like, and I'm using that as a flip-flop in order to make this game 50 cents. Originally it was just one coin turned on, so a simple way of doing it. So every coin will energize your score reel and turn it to another number. It's a form of counting. Every other number will let the coin go through to start the game. So it's using it as a flip-flop, and it's mounted on the side wall, which is why you hear the nice click, 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 click on the side of the machine. Now here we have a digital timer with very short leads connecting. Now after I'm yanking and pulling on everything, it'll probably pop out. And I'm using this as a safety to turn the machine off after a certain period of time, because many Peppy the Clown and Bimbo machines wore themselves out because of foil on 8-track tapes that falls off, sensors don't work, and it doesn't turn the machine off. So it just runs forever and ever and ever, and nobody will go over and tell the attendant. Next thing you know, the motors don't work, the solenoids don't work, nothing works, because it just ran and ran and ran with nobody playing it, nobody cared. So this is more of a safety issue that will turn the machine off after a preset period of time, because I know that the mechanic here at the Retro Arcade is just too busy to have to constantly replace foil on the 8-track tape of Peppy and Bimbo the Clown. Some of you people out there are going to say, oh, well, I've updated my Peppy and Bimbo the Clown to a solid state sound module that has got the music on it, it'll play it, and it'll turn the machine off. Well, that's very nice of you. I'm glad that you've got one of those. And they're very nice, and they work very well, and probably the audio is very clear in digital form, and that's wonderful. But you know what? This is the Retro Arcade and fascination. I have thousands of machines, and I only have 2 hands and so much time in my day. Also, I have a limited budget because we work on quarters. Okay, I don't have some $150,000 a year job that having a Bimbo at my house is my hobby. I have to try to keep things running as inexpensively and as efficiently as I can do. So, Bimbo the Clown has an old 8-track tape player in it. You see that? And the tape will play, and it's modified so I can get into the sensor. That's why the cover is yanked off, and here's the cover over there, and the mounting brackets, and there's my bouncy ball that I just put in there. And I'm ready, just like my band organ. I had another vacuum motor ready. I have another 8-track tape unit in there, complete, still in the box, brand new, probably from 1962, sitting there waiting for when this one finally stops working, and I don't have time to fix it. I even have some more light bulbs. Look, 4 on the top when they burn out too. So we have some replaced relays here. Look at that sloppy job he did there. He didn't even remove those old ones. That's right, I didn't remove the old ones. You know why? Because I like to keep it as original as possible, and that way I remember those old Guardian open-end relays are there, and I'd have to, you know, get this whole board up in order to get the mounting bracket underneath it. I don't need to do that. I'm not a fuss pot. As long as it works, I'm happy. So I got my relays laying in there, and look, it's contacting there, it's touching, it's gonna short it out. No, it isn't. There's nothing over there. We have a little capacitor here, which is, notice you'll love this power supply. 12 volts DC to run that 8-track tape player, right? Like a car. Well, where's that regulated power supply that you have to have for 12 volt DC to run that, or some big battery? Here it is.
Lucky.
Your standard stand core transformer, 110 to 12 volt AC. Well, wait a minute, that can't run on AC. What are you talking about? Here's your rectifier. Can you see it over here? We have 4 diodes. We don't even have a bridge rectifier. We have 4 diodes, and that is what a bridge rectifier does. If you look closely at the way it is wired, you have your crosses going this way and your crosses going that way. So your AC is going here, and that is converting it to DC over there. It's a full wave bridge. All I got to do is put another rectifier across the positive, the negatives. I'm sorry, the DCs, the positive, negative DC, and I'd have a full wave. So we have a capacitor on the DC side, which is keeping it as a stable current in order to run the 12 volt DC 8-track tape. Now, why in the world would he do something so slammy? I didn't do that. That's the way they made it. So I left it that way. And one of those diodes is worth about a nickel. So if one of them were to break and burn out, probably take the rest of them with them. So it cost me 25 cents for 4 new diodes. You see? This is the way it's done. It's called not having a budget, but making it work. So your coin mechanism is standard, your buttons are standard. We even have a count meter here counting the coins, and you'll notice those coils that are running up top are DC, and how do I know? Because they've got capacitors on the switches, but they are high voltage DC. So be that as it may, here we have Peppy the Clown, which is really a Bimbo the Clown, and he's not made by the Wildwood Clam Company. He must have been at the Wildwood Clam Company. You know those clammers when they get off the boats after a long day on the ocean, pulling those nets and dragging in all those heavy clams so you can enjoy them at some air-conditioned restaurant. They're out there for days, sometimes weeks. They come back with a haul. They're stinking of fish. The first thing they have to do when they get to dry dock is they look for Bimbo the Clown so they can relax and press the buttons, because they're the fishermen of the United States of America, and they're relaxing playing Bimbo the Clown. Only in America. Where else could be? It's America. It's a great country. It's a great country. The Peppy, the Bimbo. Let's see if we can get them back in one piece. Might make sense to test it before I put it back in there. Listen for that big click. Click, that's the score reel. And there he goes. Pop goes the weasel around the mountain, and up he takes the weasel. That we thought was all fun. Pop goes the weasel. Pop goes the weasel. I did. Oh, Susanna's next. Oh, can we get a little bit of Oh, Susanna before my money is up? No? You thinking about it? From Alabama with the banjo on my knee. Louisiana, my true love for to see. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama with the banjo on my knee. I used to dance around with Bimbo. La da 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 da. La da da la la la. La ba 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 ba. Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. Up. Well, Bimbo said enough of that. We'll see you next time. The Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. I used to have a Bimbo the Town tape in my car, and I would ride to do services, and I would play the music just so I could sing along with Bimbo. Wouldn't that be fun? I really did. I'm not kidding. See you later. Bye.